Wednesday, July 30th. Wednesday, July 30th, back in, what is this, 1492? When did this take place? This is Zebulon Pike. This book was written in 2006, so before 2006, July 30th, Wednesday. After the fog dispersed, I left Lieutenant Wilkinson. Wilkinson. Wait a second. Zebulon Pike was hanging out with Wilkinson? Wasn't that damn Wilkinson a Spanish fucking spy? With the party to dry the baggage, and I went with Dr. Robinson and Bradley. About 2 o'clock, we returned, set sail, and having passed the first rapid about 3 miles, encamped on the eastern shore. Killed 3 deer. Distance 5 miles. All great. Killed 3 deer. Well, Bambi doesn't have a mother now, so that's great there. Fucking the only goddamn thing that I know about Zebulon Pike is that when he came into the San Luis Valley, he was sitting there saying, "My God, isn't this the most beautiful place? This place is sublime." You had all the flowers and shit, so the flowers were in bloom. He didn't realize there was a bunch of fucking Nazis in Costilla County who likes to murder people's puppies. And the cops cover their fucking crimes. He didn't know about all that. I mean, they really took a beautiful fucking place and made it fucking ugly as shit. Only they get to fucking live their lives because they're the only ones willing to commit crimes. Why the fuck do they get to commit crimes? How come the cops don't give a shit? How come you all don't give a shit? How come nobody gives a shit? America, how come y'all don't give a shit? Huh? Colorado, New Mexico, how come you all don't give a shit? About 2 o'clock, we returned, set sail, and having passed the first rapid about 3 miles, encamped on the eastern shore. Killed 3 deer, distance 5 miles. So, just Wilkinson. Let's take a look at Wilkinson, because I could swear that Wilkinson was a spy. Wilkinson, Spanish. Wilkinson, Spanish. General James Wilkinson, the Spanish spy who was a senior. What? Became a spy. Wilkinson's early, they separate Kentucky and Tennessee from the U.S. to deliver them to Spain. Wow, the man who double-crossed the founders. That's right. James Wilkinson was a Spanish spy. So motherfucking Zebulon Pike is hanging out with a Spanish spy. Maybe that's why James Wilkinson and fucking Zebulon Pike, they get here into the valley, and it was Spanish territory. But if he's okay with the Spanish king when Zebulon Pike is taken and paraded through Mexico and the Spanish territory, he's treated like a fucking king, like a goddamn fucking god, like a celebrity. Like what? An American want to look at what we got? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, kind of, but he's a fucking spy and he's encroaching on the territory. But he walks all the way around and then he gets released after a month, and it was like the nicest arrest in the world. But makes me wonder if because of James Wilkinson, why was the Spanish so nice to Zebulon Pike? Was it because of that Spanish fucking spy, James Wilkinson? The man who double-crossed the founders. The Spanish conspiracy. The District of Kentucky. So let's read a half a second of this before we... Just after the Revolution, at a time when the young and mighty Spain controlled Wilkinson, some people are born to treachery, says Andrew Linklater. He's telling NPR's Steve Inskeep, and I think he was the most notorious American traitor you probably never heard of, General James Wilkinson, an artist in treason, the extraordinary double life of General James Wilkinson. His betrayals began after his service in the Continental Army ended, which is, you won the war, motherfuckers. He crossed the Appalachian Mountains, joined the masses of pioneers. In Kentucky, he became a land speculator and fell into debt, but Wilkinson had charm. It would come handy in later in his career as a spy to help him survive. There was a guy, a very old timer, and he said he could remember Wilkinson being called on by somebody he owed money to. Conversation went on all afternoon. And it was over. The guy Wilkinson owed money to came away having lent him another $500. Soon enough, Wilkinson found another more lucrative form of survival, selling American secrets to the Spanish Empire. As a spy, his trade craft was excellent. Wilkinson sent his information in a code, just rows of numbers in groups of 4. It was never broken. Wow, that's amazing. Just rows of numbers in groups of 4. Through these coded messages, Wilkinson informed the Spanish of the Lewis and Clark expedition, its secret goal of finding a land route through the western mountains to the Pacific Ocean. He suggests that his paymaster send armed patrols to intercept the expedition, which the Spanish did. Shit. So fucking Lewis and Clark almost got Only by the grace of God did they fail to find them. Linklater says if the Spanish patrols had been luckier or more skillful, we might remember Lewis and Clark, if we remember them at all, as two explorers who vanished into the West. And the course of American history might have well been dramatically altered. He recommended that the Spanish build huge defensive lines to prevent American expansion westward after the Louisiana Purchase. And again, Spain acted upon this advice. Silver dollars are everywhere. The real problem for Wilkinson was getting paid for his intelligence, which was the reason he became a spy. He was hard-pressed to find a way of secretly transporting the loud, unwieldy payments. The Spanish sent him thousands of silver dollars at a time. Here's 1,000 silver dollars. He tried packing them in casks used for sugar, coffee, and rum, but the clinking of the cash made it hard to hide the barrel's valuable contents. On one occasion, one of his messengers, who was carrying about 3,000 silver dollars, was murdered by his boatman. At that moment, Wilkinson absolutely came to the very edge of being discovered. The 5 murderers, all Spanish, took the money and scattered across the Kentucky countryside, but were soon captured and taken before a magistrate. As luck would have it, though, the assassins spoke no English, and Thomas Power, the interpreter of the magistrate sent for, was secretly another Spanish spy. And who do we trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Who do we trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Wicked murderers, they were just motivated by greed. Almost everyone suspected him. Hey, that's just like that Chris Mondragon. My God, I'm sick of all the fucking murders, all the fucking crimes. I'm so sick of the child abuse, the fucking poaching, the motherfucking serial killing. So much fucking murder. God damn you motherfuckers. God damn you motherfuckers. You got 3 dead bodies that they just found in Gunnison. They're saying it's just campers, right? Just campers. Yeah, right. Where they shot and robbed. And then they fucking froze to death afterwards, right? And they just sweep it under the rug like it wasn't no foul play. Oh, yeah, because 3 people normally die in the middle of fucking nowhere. And then we just found human remains in Saguache County. What the fuck? Is that Chris Mondragon? Is that motherfucking Andre Barrows? Is that another fucking serial killer in the making? And then Cuesta. Cuesta's in New Mexico, but the border's just right there. So the SLV is 6 counties. You know, Saguache County is a part of it. Gunnison's just right out, and Cuesta's just right outside of it. But it's right there. It's right there. The people in San Luis probably go to Taos more than they do to Monte Vista or Del Norte. Wilkinson got away with a lot. A lot of people distrusted him. Everybody suspected him of passing information to Spain. Every single president from Washington to Madison, Adams, Jefferson, Madison. So the first 4 presidents. And yet they all trusted him. He might be talking to Spain, yeah, but he's such a charismatic guy. His indecipherable code made it impossible to link him to the leaks, but it couldn't stop the accusations. His career virtually ended because one after another the rats come out of the woodwork. They all betrayed him left, right, and center, but they couldn't find his damn code. They couldn't break the code. They couldn't prove that he got paid. He faced about 4 or 5 public inquiries, 2 or 3 court-martials, and each time he was found not guilty. It wasn't until long afterwards that historians found documentation that found out that he was a Spanish spy. To see history through a villain's eyes rather than through the heroic eyes of the Founding Fathers is to see just what dangers the United States faced and what fate it escaped. Good article there, NPR. Good article. So that's a little bit about July 30th, Wednesday. When did that motherfucker? I guess we could find out the year too, huh? Zebulon Pike, year of discovery. 1812 is when he's going to get killed. 1806, they were sent to explore the unknown West. Pike's Peak is named after Zebulon Pike. 1806 is at 1805 or 1806? Which is it? I guess it's around. They said that he started 1805, led a 20-man expeditionary, and it's just 20 man, so it's not like a military expedition, just 20 people. But hell, that's all Fidel Castro said. He had 40 or 50, but really he just needed about a dozen. Where was Zebulon Pike captured in 1806? They said near Santa Fe, which I think it's like right around here, which isn't near Santa Fe. It's like 2 or 3 hours away from Santa Fe, but Santa Fe is the fucking capital of Spain, so that's kind of close. Colorado, southern Colorado, SLV. Beginning July 15th, 1806. So what's early November? 1807, okay, what the fuck? Does anybody even know? Was this guy even real? Zebulon Pike, was he even a real person? Let's see here. Was Zebulon Pike a real